Hey all, this is Spencer from the Board Game Rundown. I just wanted to give you all a recap of what it was like at Origins this year. I didn't really get a chance, and I'm not going to be able to do it with the guys when we film next. So these are my thoughts about what I did. First, I did a lot of interviews. We interviewed Dave from Distilled, which is a really cool game about making all sorts of spirits. One of the cool things I like about that is it's very clear he understands the process of making one. For instance, the first bit of whiskey that comes out of a barrel has to be thrown out, and the last bit as well. And so when you have cards and all your ingredients, you take the first and last cards out after you shuffle them up, and then see if you still have enough ingredients to make the thing you're trying to make. It's pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to getting it. I did actually back it. We also talked to Sam Stockton from BA Games. They do Cult of the Deep, which is now on Roll20, I believe. That is a really cool game. It's a social deduction game with dice and Cthulhu. I mean, what's not to love? They're also releasing a new one, Forges of Ravenshire. That one's a cool game. I love the artwork on it. It's about animals trying to forge things. It's a little more relaxed, in my opinion, than Cult of the Deep, but definitely look for that one. In fact, I got to interview the artist, Andrea Radek. She also did art for plenty of Magic the Gathering cards. And she actually has her own webcomic, Calum Sky. Check it out. It's about a spirit that has lost its memory and is trapped in the spirit or in the body of a dinosaur demon thing. She's trying to develop her own soul while trying to evade capture by a pair of exorcists. So it's pretty fun. I've read it for a while. Grey Fox Games. We interviewed Grey Fox Games. They are the ones who make Champions of Midgard. You may have heard of it. We also have a new one they just made. It's been on Kickstarter. Half of us have backed it, and that is Last Light. Here, I'm going to show you all my cat, Tara. She's probably going to interrupt us a few times. I can't stop her. Last Light is a really cool game. It's like a 4X game, but you're in a solar system, and so the planets are orbiting. They orbit around the sun in the middle, so you can't just turtle in one area because you will then suddenly no longer be turtling. You'll be right in front of everyone else's fleets. And in every marble, which is the planet or the sun, all of them are made unique. So everyone's copy will be different. Very nice. We did the Grand Gamers Guild. They made Garinto. They made Endangered. They make a new one called Belgian Beer Race, which I think is new. I haven't played it before, and it was fun. I got to play that one. You get to go around on bicycles or hitchhiking or bus, trying to drink as much alcohol in Belgium without getting completely soused and falling unconscious. And the person who can do the best wins the game at the end. You should definitely check that out. I loved it. We also went to Alex from Cardboard Dynamo. His first game, his inaugural game, Giga Robo. Giga Robo is a fighting game with big mechs, and it reminds me a lot of GKR. GKR, Giant Killer Robots, Heavy Hitters, where you're going around tagging buildings. Well, in this one, you're not tagging them, you're throwing your opponents through them. Really fun looking. There's also, we got a sneak peek of a gigantic kaiju that's going to be in a later expansion. I love how modular it is, how much you can customize in that game. I cannot forget that we talked with Foreteller. Foreteller is a company that does audio recordings for narration in a bunch of games. And these include Frosthaven and Gloomhaven and Jaws of the Lion, Bard Song, all of the above and below, near and far games, things like that. They also, I believe, are Fabler. Fabler is a company, or same company, I believe. They do ambiance and music for the background. And they've got a huge library of it. I checked it out. It looks like it's pretty extensive. And then, of course, right next door, we got to interview Dennis Furia. He's the friend of the show, Furia Games, Deck of Wonders. That game, I finally got to meet him in person. It was great. I got to see the game in person. I'm waiting for my copy. It looks so fun. I'm really looking forward to getting that game. All right, we did more interviews. I'm not going to go into all of them because you're going to be able to see them. But some of the other things I did go around and check out. We tried to get an interview with IV Games. Unfortunately, every time we showed up, he was with someone a little more up the food chain than we were, and so we decided not to disturb him. But he makes, or they make, Moonrakers. And Moonrakers is a cool game. You're going around trying to cooperate with your friends, but not really. You're taking contracts. You're out in space. You're taking contracts and seeing if other people can help you fulfill the contracts. I like the way they do cards. Everyone gets one action, and you put a card down that's the action, and then some of those cards will give you more actions. So then you lay two more on it. And so you're making a tree of actions as you're going along. You can customize your ship. You can get crew members. I really like the game because it's also got a nice almost betting element to it where you're trying to see, because there's danger dice too. And I can like try to do something and give someone else the danger dice, but also give them a point, all sorts of things. They're coming out with an expansion, the Titan Edition. It's actually 4 expansions. They look really cool. One of them adds locations to the contracts. So there's it's a grid, 4 places. And if you are too far away, you cannot help on a contract at all. And there are only certain places where you can get certain contracts. There are now dual power cards. So it'll be like give both energy and defense. And I've been looking forward to having something like that. And then there's a reputation track. And I wasn't even able to see everything. It's not all been actually released, so I'm looking forward to that coming into Kickstarter pretty soon. On a personal note, I used to play a game called Dragon Dice when I was a kid, and it went under in 2000 TSR. And well, I didn't realize that the makers sold the game to the players, and the players balanced the game and started making their own things. And so I couldn't help but get my own Dragon Dice. I already have a whole bunch of them from when I was a kid, but I only had 2 dragons, so I wouldn't actually be able to play. So now I got a bunch of cool dragons. They've got all sorts of new things to go with it. If you're into Dragon Dice, I hope I can get my friends into it. I really love dice. I love dragons. Dragon's Dice is pretty cool. You're in different areas and you're fighting each other with the dice. Each size die is different health. You're trying to summon dragons using magic, and the different terrains in each area do different things. And yeah, it's a fun game. I got to play Cat in a Box by Bezier Games. That is kind of it's a trick-taking game, except that every card is every suit and no suit at the same time, kind of like Schrodinger's cat. You have a card that has the 4 colors on it, and you will put a card down on one of those corners to indicate this is the suit that it's going to be. And you can only play in the suit that's been broken. And there's a wild that you can break open as well. I'm not usually a big fan of trick-taking games, and I usually pretty much suck at them. This one looks pretty fun. I'll try it out, give it more chances. I got to play and learn Star Realms. That one was really right up my alley. Wise Wizard Games. We got to talk with Rob Doherty, the developer, the designer, and Tim almost beat him like 4 times. It was ridiculous. It just came down to the wire, and it was fun. I got to actually try it out myself. They are coming out with Rise of Empire, which is a prequel, and it involves some cards now have a when you purchase them, it does something. You can also upgrade your cards, so it's kind of a legacy thing, and you can put stickers on them, or you can get this that has all of the options available, so you can replay it as much as you want. I really like that. I had Epic, which is another one they did, which is kind of like Magic the Gathering if you don't have $1 million to spend. And Hero Realms is also by Star Realms, Wise Wizard Games. We got to play a game, or at least demo a game called Doodle Dash by Chili Fox Games. That one's cool. It's a kind of a party game. Everyone has a little doodle pad, and someone has a word that they're trying to well, everyone has a word except for the judge. He doesn't know what the word is, and it could be bridge. And so everyone tries to draw a bridge as fast as they can. The first person to draw the bridge and be okay with it turns it over and grabs the little token. The second person, then, when he finishes, he rolls a die. And he keeps rolling that die until he hits a certain face. And when he hits that face, everyone else stops. So it's about being able to do it quickly and accurately, pushing your luck a little bit. It looks quite fun. I'm looking forward to that one. I got to try one. Well, I got to watch one called Trailblazers. That's a new game by Bitewing Games. It's actually not available yet. It's coming to Kickstarter really soon. I think they said next month. It is a game where you're trying to make the longest trail. There's 3 different types of trails. So like hiking, biking, and maybe animal trail. I don't remember. And you're trying to, each card is long and thin. And you connecting them together to make the longest trails. They have like animals that can, and bikers. The bikers will come by and stop to look at the animals. It's a family weight game, and I really wanted to get it because it looks like it's something that my family would enjoy a lot. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it. But when it comes out, I'm going to back that one. I got to play a demo, In Too Deep by Burnt Island Games. That looks like a beast. It is really awesome, but it is complicated. But I love the idea behind this game. You aren't trying to be a good guy. You're not the bad guy. You are hacking in to the bad guy's brains, having them commit crimes so that you can find out where the syndicate is. But if you get too good at getting these guys to commit crimes, you can become in too deep, and then you're the one who loses. And there's so much in that game. You should definitely check it out. We were running a booth, Wonder Book, fantastic game. And right across from it is Chip Theory Games with their gigantic list of stuff. And Burn Cycle. We had to sit there for hours watching people play this game in front of us. And of course, Bob bought it. And it's right up his alley. It is... you have a bunch of robots. You're going around on a map trying to fulfill different objectives. The unique thing about this game is you also have a cybernetic world. And so you're trying to evade the bad guys on there as well, or hack into them. And every one of them has different objectives. There's magnetic chips. So your figurines attached to the chips. That looks really cool. The mats are all neoprene mats with very precise holes cut out in them for like the dice. It's a dual layer neoprene mat. Plus you put them on top of each other to make all the different maps. It even comes with a mat for the mats, so you know how to put them out. And that one you can turn over, and it's just a really nice placemat. So I'm really looking forward to getting to play that one with Bob. I can't wait. There was one more I really wanted to mention. As I was walking out, I saw this game, checked it out. It's called Reality Shift by Academy Games. This is a 3D racing game. There are cubes, and all the cubes are magnetic. You play a racer, and you're trying to race around this map, trying to get to your goal, the finish line. But you can turn them, you can shift them around, all these cubes, and you can of course go on every surface of it. Even it looks great. So those were all the games. I had a fantastic time at this thing, even though I worked like 12 hours and was on my feet for like 16 hours a day. I can't wait for my next one. I had no idea that there were going to be authors there. There's an author's alcove. And in fact, there's going to be one at Gen Con. And that one's more robust. So I'm definitely checking it out at Gen Con if I can. They had Kat Rambo, she's written books for all sorts of gaming companies, and she's been the president of the Sci-Fi Writers Association of America twice. She's a big name, and I've read a couple of her books, and she was there. I'm like, this is awesome. There was R.L. King, Sarah Hans, Carlos Hernandez, Jennifer Brozek, Aaron Rosenberg, Michael Underwood, Gregory Wilson. So many great authors. I got to talk with them all. They gave me fantastic advice because last Friday I finished the final round of edits on my book. This is like round number 8. And they were so forthcoming. They were so helpful, friendly. I can't wait to get started. And at the same time, it is daunting. All of their advice, I've got to like sort through it. So one last bit. I checked out Dice Miner, and I got it. Really cool. I got Yummy Yummy Monster Tummy for my son. This one is a game where all players are trying to match the color of the monster, but all of the players aren't going to have a right match. So the combination of the colors is what counts. So if I have a blue one and he has a red one, and we're trying to match a purple monster. And I wanted to give a shout out to Wormwood. Wormwood is a company that makes accessories for games. They make gaming tables, and they make, this is gorgeous. I couldn't help myself. This is their die tower. And not only is this a really awesome wood, Paduke wood, I think they called it. It is more stunning in person than it is on there. But it's magnetic. It's easy to put together, and these are strong magnets. You catch your finger in one of these things, that's going to hurt, like it did for me. So that's about it. I am looking forward to the next one. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope I get to see some of you guys at a convention. So for the Board Game Rundown, I've been Spencer.